You know the feeling. You have 40 pages of dense academic reading due tomorrow. When that textbook lands on your desk, panic sets in. Most students dive straight into the first sentence. Instead, you can identify the author's intent and core arguments in just a few minutes before you ever start a close read. We are going to use a tool called a text overview map. By the end of this prep phase, you will have identified the 3 structural pillars: the topic, the purpose, and the main ideas. Grab your current reading assignment, a notebook, and highlighters to follow along. We are shifting toward a smarter approach to reading. Here is how we build the map. Step 1 is the 60-second scan. Avoid the first sentence of the text for now. Instead, let your eyes jump specifically to the structural elements: the title, the subheadings, the charts, and any bold or italicized vocabulary. Look at those specific elements in your own assignment. Using only these highlighted markers, formulate a 1-sentence prediction of the overall subject matter. Log that prediction at the top of your notepad. Step 2 is to establish the purpose. Understanding why the author wrote this piece provides the necessary context to evaluate the argument. Academic authors typically have one of 4 goals: to discuss, to persuade, to analyze, or to report. Look at the tone of the headings and the bold words you previously identified. Neutral, data-focused headings often signal an intent to report. Headings that take a clear stance indicate an intent to persuade. Select the category that matches your identified markers and log it at the top of your text overview map. Predicting the content and purpose anchors your focus. This prevents you from getting bogged down in minor details once the actual reading begins. Now we move from the whole text to a single paragraph. Step 3 is pinpointing the paragraph topic. A topic is a broad subject category. Limit this to only 1 or 2 words. We can see how topics are isolated using this textbook example. The first word of the paragraph, schemas, identifies the broad category. Update the notepad to read paragraph 3, topic, schemas. Avoid writing a full sentence for the topic. Step 4 is extracting the main idea. This is the specific point the author makes about the topic. Returning to the text, the author follows the topic with the core point. Schemas can describe how specific knowledge is organized and stored in memory. The phrase expert footballer is a supporting detail, not the core concept. We leave it out of the main idea. Combining the topic of schemas with the author's point about organizing memory creates the main idea. Schemas help us understand and organize knowledge. Distinguishing between the broad topic, the core main idea, and the supporting details enables much more efficient academic note-taking. Review your completed text overview map. You have transformed a blank page into a structured outline. This process turns a dense wall of text into a digestible format. You have mapped the architecture of the argument without reading every word. Use this map to guide your close read. You can now slot supporting details under the main ideas you have already located. Successful academic reading relies on strategic extraction rather than brute force memorization. Build a map for your next assignment.